set one for my client. Had called up. He was the systems administrator for the city, county, and he was, kind of handles everything internally. Him and another guy, and I asked him if they, call on companies for additional support, and he was pretty receptive about, hearing how we can offer up some help and, help them out with some other cloud computing and things like that. They manage roughly 150 computers for, the courthouse and other surrounding government buildings. And yeah, set it up for the second week of August for my client to go out and have a chat with them, see how we can help them out.
Yeah, so I got one for my client out in Ohio. It is about like maybe multiple servers, but like 50 users. They were starting to go into some sort of proposal process, and they were reevaluating. It was a follow-up from last December, and they're like, I just send over an email with me and the CIO, and we'll get involved there. And they emailed me back this morning to set a time for my client and them to talk next Tuesday. So I mean, they're currently reviewing their budget and companies for the upcoming year. So I mean, as long as we just get in there and show how what we can do and our assets and how we could be help to them, then yeah, that should be a good one.
Just set an appointment for my client out in Texas. It is for a school district. There's about 1,500 users. They do currently have a managed service provider he's not quite thrilled with, and he is looking into other options. So set that up for my client, and very excited for him to see how that goes.
I got one for one of my Canadian clients. It's with the CEO, and she's involving her IT director. It's a Teams meeting. They're interested in shopping around. Previous to that, they had just kept it in-house, and they're starting to branch out, kind of explore working with the company. So we came in at a good time, and we'll see where it goes.
I had one today on my birthday, and then I set two yesterday while I was stuck in the house on a record-breaking rainfall of 12 inches. But the first one I got was for my guy out in Portland. It's a real cool scenario because it's with a school district. I got through to the CIO, and he basically told me he keeps a list of companies, that he outsources certain services to, but none of those companies handle VoIP phone systems. And VoIP phone systems was something that was a project they wanted to handle this summer going into the following school year. So he wanted an immediate meeting with my owner, Tyler, and just to basically discuss some possible co-managed services, but to indefinite discuss the VoIP details and see what the cost of that would be. So 500 users, I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity. It has two different locations. I think they only have 3 guys internal, so yeah, it's kind of a lot for them to manage just internal. So I think we can get in there and fit in real well. And then I got 2 for my guy out in Arkansas. The one that I got while we were flooded inside the house was actually an inbound lead. I called this lady. She handles IT internally, but was kind of just past those responsibilities. It's kind of just learning on the fly. She has close to 33 users, so it's a decent sized account. She's very familiar with Gerard, knows where the business is located. She actually lives in the same town he does, has seen our trucks driving around and stuff. So she reached out to him, emailed him, set up a time and a date. Didn't really get the exact details. I know there's about 33 users, but that's about it. Like I said, she kind of just reached out to him. But since I got our names out there, he kind of let me set that appointment up and all that. And then came across one today, and it's with the local guy. He lives in Paragould, where the owner of the company lives. Has seen our trucks driving around, and just wants to discuss some services. It's really just a general introductory meeting, but it's a guy that owns a bunch of heavy equipment, and I know that my client is actually looking for someone who does something like that. So I think in turn we could do some IT services for him and get some services from him to kind of benefit the client. And if Gerard's happy, that's all that matters to me.
All right, so I got 2 appointments today. One for my client in California. It is with an insurance agency. They currently have an in-house guy that kind of oversees everything, but they're working with a third party. Just open to chatting with us to see what our pricing and services look like. They're about 16 users. They have a physical server. So we have that appointment set up for the 11th. And then the other appointment that I got was for my client in Utah. It is with a construction company. They have an in-house. I talked to the IT manager. They're about 100 users, and they outsource for some things. So they have a couple guys that they usually go to, but he's open to a conversation just to kind of see what we can offer them. So that appointment is set up virtually for, I believe, next week on Tuesday. So 2 pretty good appointments, and yeah, it's a good way to end off the day. I'm off tomorrow, so end off the month with I think about 18. So pretty good month for me, and I'm excited.
So got one for my client out in Connecticut. We actually specialize working with non-for-profits, so I called into this church. They said they needed help. They weren't really getting support for like their hybrid environment or like a 50-50 split for their environment they're currently working in with like Mac computers and then like Microsoft as well. So they needed better support, and they were, the director said she was searching, for something like that. We actually specialize in it, so we're going to go out the end of August, do a virtual meeting with her, see what ways we can be of service and kind of mend the gaps for what they currently have, and see where it goes from there.
Howdy, y'all. Today I got an appointment for my client in Kansas City. It's with a roofing company. We talked a little bit about IT. He's got a guy, nothing crazy. But something we've really been angling is investment versus expense. And so when I said that to him, and it kind of rang in his head a little bit, shot him over some info, but we got a follow-up call scheduled for the week after. It's about 10 users, a couple servers. Really excited. Hope we can show him some new stuff and see if we can make him a switch.
Yeah, set up an appointment for my Pennsylvania client this morning. It's with School of Technology, so obviously they probably have a lot of tech needs. I talked with the IT coordinator who I was pointing in the direction of, be the best person to talk to. Currently, they don't have any big projects, but they've worked with companies like ourselves in the past, so kind of just trying to get some more options out there. We're going to go meet with them next Wednesday and kind of just tell them a little bit more about our services, see if there'd be a good fit between us, and see if we can get them a proposal for something.
I was calling for my client in Salisbury, and I left a live message with the office admin, and she reached back out to my owner, and she looked us up, looked a bunch of information up about us, and liked what we had to offer, and so she set up an appointment for the 9th, and she is very interested. They reached out to another company, but it's taken 3 months to get a response. So we responded to her in like a minute, and she was very, very happy with that. They are on the smaller side-ish, but they have 5 users, and yeah, it's an in-person meeting. And they're going out there at 11.
All right, so one for my client up in Canada. It's a smaller company, about 12 users, and they what they do is they train equipment operators that operate specifically in oil fields, whether it's large equipment or small equipment. They have an IT guy who they're happy with, however, are interested in just kind of hearing what's out there. The owner's not too familiar with the industry, and I'm just looking to have a discussion where everybody walks away learning something, and hopefully that's a little foot in the door for us to show how we can be an effective solution for them.
I got another one for my Canadian client today. It's a manufacturing plant, and I spoke with the owner. He's also the chief business officer of another logistics company, and we discussed going in as an MSP for both companies. Previous to that, he had been handling all of it himself and has been looking to explore working with an MSP. So we'll see where it goes. We'll get him some pricing, and we'll see if he wants to move forward.